Bob was a completely ordinary guy. Job, home, the same daily routine as anyone else. And there was one simple thing he loved: a cup of coffee. Not just any coffee, the one from the cafe near his house, with that exact taste he'd gotten used to. The smell, the warmth, the little burst of energy first thing in the morning. So every day, before work, he'd stop by and get one. And everything was fine, until one day. The cafe was closed.
Bob shrugged it off at first. No big deal, he thought. He went to work without his coffee. An hour in, a dull headache started creeping behind his eyes. Then, his focus began to slip. Small tasks felt heavier than they should. Something felt off. He didn't understand why. His mind just kept circling one thought, louder every minute. He needed coffee. So he left his desk to find another one. The nearest place had a line stretching out the door. 15 minutes he didn't have. He waited anyway.
When he finally got to the counter, they were out of his usual blend. He had to settle, order something else, and pay more than he normally would. Then it started raining, right as he stepped outside with the cup in his hand. No umbrella. He half-jogged back, shielding the cup like it mattered more than staying dry. By the time he sat back down at his desk, 15 minutes had turned into almost 40. He took the first sip. The headache started easing. His focus came back. And only then, sitting there, cup in hand, did the whole morning replay in his head. The line, the rain, the wrong blend, the 40 minutes he didn't have. And he asked himself, why did all of that just happen? For a cup of coffee? What happened to Bob wasn't a character flaw. It was an entire system inside his brain and body working exactly as it was built to work. Psychologically, the first time Bob drank that coffee, his brain registered the feeling of alertness and comfort and instantly linked it to a specific moment, morning, right before work. With repetition, that moment itself became a cue. The second he woke up, his brain started demanding the coffee before he even consciously felt like wanting it. This is called behavioral conditioning. The classic example: a bell rings before food arrives, and after enough repetitions, saliva starts flowing at the sound of the bell alone, with no food in sight. Physiologically, the caffeine in that coffee blocks a molecule in Bob's brain called adenosine, the chemical responsible for making you feel sleepy. When caffeine blocks it, the brain experiences artificial alertness and also releases dopamine, which adds a sense of reward on top of the alertness. With repetition, Bob's brain started producing more adenosine receptors to compensate, meaning he now needed a larger dose of caffeine just to feel the same alertness one cup used to give him. This is called tolerance. And when the coffee was skipped that morning, all that accumulated adenosine, normally blocked by caffeine, was suddenly free to act at full force. That's what caused the headache, the fatigue, and the inability to focus that felt at work without ever knowing why. So what actually works? Not motivation, not willpower. Mechanism-based strategies. First, gradual tapering, not cold turkey. If Bob normally drinks the equivalent of 3 cups a day, cutting to 0 overnight floods his brain with all that blocked adenosine at once. That's the brutal headache. Instead, cutting by about a quarter every few days gives his adenosine receptors time to downshift gradually, instead of getting hit all at once. Second, break the cue, not just the substance. Remember, Bob's brain didn't just crave caffeine, it craved the walk to the cafe before work. So changing the routine itself, making tea at home instead, or taking a different path to the office, removes the trigger that fires the craving in the first place, not just the chemical. Third, substitute. Don't just subtract. Swapping to something with a smaller caffeine hit, green tea for instance, still gives the brain something at that moment, softening the drop instead of leaving a total void. Fourth, protect the sleep debt underneath it all. Here's what most people miss. Adenosine builds up naturally from being awake, and caffeine was only ever masking it. If Bob is also sleep deprived, no tapering plan works well because the underlying pressure never actually drops. Fixing sleep isn't optional here, it's foundational. Combine all four, and clinical evidence shows withdrawal symptoms become far milder and often resolve within days instead of dragging on. But here's the catch nobody likes hearing. None of this erases the system. It just makes it quieter. The pathway is still there, still capable of reactivating the moment the habit returns. Which is exactly why the odds still favor Bob going back.
The real problem is never becoming Bob in the first place. Because the easiest war to win is the one you never walk into. And if you're already there, why not be the impossible exception?